Hi there, it's Jessie here, and a big fat warm welcome to this big fat warm channel. Thank you very much for being here. You know that I love you. Um, so can you see the microphone? Where is it? Have you spotted it? Oh, I'm in a fantastic mood today. I feel so full of love. Like, what the flip? It's the contrast of feeling so depressed and then feeling so much love. It's so insane that it really makes you appreciate feeling good, doesn't it? And it really makes you appreciate what makes you feel good. And I'm talking beyond this lifetime and this planet. Earth has made me appreciate where I come from. Is anyone native to Earth? I actually don't know. Maybe some people are like pure blood. I don't know. Anyway, let's get into it. I went down to the river this morning. I woke up at 5, God knows why. In the summer, I just woke up so early. I woke up at 5, I went down to the river to watch the sunrise, and I was hanging out with some crabs. And they're so funny to watch because it makes you realize that, like, all animals have a family and they all like bicker with each other, they like love each other and they all bicker with each other too. Like, I was watching these crabs and there was one, I guess they were eating. I think they were dancing in the sunrise, but probably they were eating. And so they'd come up and they'd be like, right? And then this other one came out, like there's this little crack in the slabs and they come out of the cracks. So there's this one going, and then this other guy comes out and he comes next to him, like doing the same thing. And then the other one didn't want him in his personal space. He was like, crabby, crabby, crabby. And the other crab scuttled away. So he continued dancing in the sunrise. And then he came back out again. And this one's like edging over, but slower this time. He's like, like looking. And then he gets close, and then the other one sees he's there, and he's like, crap, 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 like, get away from me. And he scuttles off again. And this goes on for some time until the one that's like chasing him off obviously gets a bit tired of the act. So he just lets him. So then they're dancing together. And that brought me so much joy. And I'm not joking, guys. You know how, like, they say the external reflects the internal? It brought me so much joy to watch these crabs bickering, and then one being like, okay, fine, do whatever you want. And this other, like, little cheeky one, I don't know what their relationship was. The crab family. It brought me so much peace, and the internal reflecting the external. Like the river round me. So it's a huge river, right? It's huge. And then the river around me, the water was so smooth. There wasn't a crinkle or a wrinkle in sight. But just kind of where I was sat, right? It was like this semicircle of smooth water. And then when I noticed it, I got excited. And then all the water rippled in my excitement. And I think this is happening all the time. It's nice to have water as a reflection, but, watching crabs brought me peace, and the water was peaceful, and then I got excited, and then it got all ripply. Anyway, I just think it's beautiful. I think life's really beautiful. I'm grateful for life today. You know why? Because we are going to die one day, right? And I really firmly believe that when it comes to the time of death, first of all, be ready for it. You want to be ready to leave the body. You want to be ready. My mum taught me this. This is why the Buddhists practice the art of non-attachment. The ultimate non-attachment is with the body when we die. And you want to make a plain sailing through to the other side, because you can get trapped. Like, a lot of people, if they're not ready to die or they don't know, they don't leave the realm. They leave the body, but they don't leave the realm. And there's a lot of ghosts that don't know they're dead. It's insane. So how do I know this? Well, I worked with a colleague a couple of years ago. Maybe it was last year. And he, since he was a young boy, can see dead people or ghosts or spirits, whatever. He can see them. And then he said that his abilities kind of went offline while he was a teenager. And then they came back when he was around 16. And luckily, his family were very open-minded to this kind of stuff. And they found somebody nearby who works with this and can train him. So from the age of 16, he had some years of training in how to manage this gift. It's not for everyone. I do think probably everyone is able to do it if we really train. But maybe, it's just like not everyone's an engineer, everyone has different things. And this was his thing. So he was trained in how to turn it on and off. And here's a crazy anecdote, right? So because he had to learn how to turn it off, because when he was dating his girlfriend, and they were making love, or maybe it was the first time they were going to make love or something, I don't know. And it was in her family home. And all of her ancestors were around him. And he found it very distracting. He was like, I can't make love with you. All your ancestors are here. And then he went on to explain like what they looked like and what their names were. And she was like, what? So then he learned how to switch it off so he can make love in peace with some privacy. Isn't it crazy? Anyway, I got very excited about this. So I asked him, like, who's around me? What do you see? And I was excited and poised. And he was like, whoa. And then I relaxed a little bit. And then he went, ugh. And I was like, what? What are you seeing? And he was like, well, they're moving a lot. And I think at first he saw something beautiful in his reaction. And then he was like, oh, he was like, well, they're quite weird looking. Whatever's around you. Like he was like weird alien, like they just look a bit weird. I think he was being kind. I don't know. Maybe I've got like weird ass entities around me. Probably. Those of us that have a lot of light, are targeted by those who don't know how to access the light or don't know how to get out of this realm. So yeah, just quick reminder, we are constantly surrounded, and that scares some people. Like even my friend who's so tuned in, turned on, tapped on. She doesn't like the thought of there being ghosts or spirits around us. And I'm surprised that it scares her. I'm not sure why. I'm sure she has her reasons. I'm not judging it. But I find it all quite exciting. I find anything like beyond the ordinary quite exciting. It's been part of the reason I've been like quite addicted to marijuana, because it gets me in contact very quickly and easily to the other realms where I feel very connected, and I feel connected to home. And for years, I've had this something around me that I can hear it breathe. It's such a loving force, like don't have to worry about this. At least what I think of it. It brings me it's like an anchor. Like if I'm lost and I just sit down and I'm quiet, I hear this beautiful presence around me. And also growing up, when I was a child, every morning when I woke up in the morning, I would see blue and green lights for about 3 minutes. About 3 minutes. I don't know where I pulled that number from, but until I would like get up and get on with my day. And it still happens now, but rarely. It's not as common as when I was a child. But every now and again, I wake up and I see that blue-green light, and I'm like, oh yeah. It's a nice reminder that we're more than what we are told. And yeah. Anyway, I'm gonna pick a card from the archetype deck, and I'm just gonna see what it says and see what it prompts me to say. There we go. Engineer. Didn't I mention engineer earlier? Not everyone's an engineer. And it's reminding me of when I oh my gosh, when I called myself an energetic engineer, because I genuinely think that's what I am. Light attributes: ability to give creative energy a practical expression, talent for designing resolutions to common dilemmas. Exactly. Shadow attribute: reliance on mechanistic solutions without regard for emotional consequences. Yes. Well, luckily, I'm not so much in the shadow because I don't have a disregard for emotional consequences. I don't, unless I'm in my own emotional storm and it clouds my vision and I'm unable in that moment to consider the other person because I'm so preoccupied with my own turmoil. So sometimes I can be, but most of the time, too much I think about the emotional consequences, if that's possible. Ability to give creative energy a practical expression. Yes, I actually don't have the ability to give it practical expression, I don't think. I'm much more of an ideas kind of gal. You know, I have the crazy ideas and then I'm like, I put them out into the ether and then I hope that somebody who's got the practical solutions will pick it up and do something with it. And, you know, it's a small part that I play. Anyone else do this? Like, I've done this in ceremony a lot with plant medicine, where I'm there and I'm like with spirit, and it's like, okay, what should we do then? What do we do? What should we do? How can I help? That's always my question. How can I help? And it's like solutions to things like, you know, think of an issue. And this works for people with like very magical imaginations. Because if you believe anything is possible, then you can create a solution without knowing how it's done. Oh my God, it's reminding me of this guy I'm dating at the moment. He is a physicist. I have a thing for physicists, or physicists have a thing for me. I don't know what it is. But anyway, he's another physicist that I'm dating. And he was telling me, so I don't really understand, but I like, so if I, you know, I'm going to explain it to the best of my ability from my perception of understanding. He was telling me how like so much of physics isn't able to be computed because there's too much data, like the amount of atoms, the amount that we've like trickled it down to, like to the particle, to the atom, you know, and how infinite. Well, it's not infinite, is it? There's like a limited amount of atoms, I believe, but so many, it's like incomprehensible to think of. And how because of that, it's hard to put into a computer system and run theories through a system because of there's no database wide or big enough to hold all of the atoms. This is what I understand. So he has decided to take it upon himself to figure out a way to rewrite physics into a computer program where not all of the atoms are needed in order to understand, in order to compute what our current understanding of what physics is. And, you know, like, I don't understand what he's talking about here, but I kind of get that he's onto something quite revolutionary and innovative. He basically said, well, someone's got to do it. No one's done this yet, and someone's got to do it, so I'm going to give it a shot. And I think that is so flipping cool because he doesn't know how to get it, but he knows that there must be a way and someone's just got to figure it out. And my thing's going to run out of time. So like the video if you liked it. Let me know your thoughts down below. And if you hit subscribe, and beautiful day and beautiful